All right, I believe we are live. Awesome, very excited. So if you are joining us live, welcome. If you are on the replay, welcome. I'm here with Liz Hall. Really excited to have Liz joining us today, all the way from the other side of the country. She's on the West Coast. Is that right? You're on the West Coast?
Yep.
And Liz is a fitness professional, and she's also a mom of two awesome little kiddos, and she's going to share her tips with us today, or strategies just on how to create a healthy lifestyle for your kids, or help your kids create a healthy lifestyle. And Liz, could you just tell us a little bit about your background, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you, Steve, for having me here. I'm Liz Hall. I'm super excited to be on this group and to be invited to share tips with you guys. Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I'm actually born and raised here in California, and I do have two young kiddos. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. And my background is in fitness. I've been in the fitness industry for 20 years. It's crazy to say it out loud that it's been that long, but 20 years.
Wow.
I've always been very active. I was an athlete growing up. So I was always very into fitness, and I always loved kind of like how incredible our human body is and what it's capable of performance-wise and things like that. And so I've always been into that. And when I went to school for kinesiology, exercise science, so learning more about what the body is capable of doing and all that kind of stuff. And then, so I ended up having a career path where I was in personal training for 20 years, helping others get healthy, getting fit, building their confidence and things like that. So my foundation was pretty strong, like pretty much all my life. So then when I became a mom, I obviously very much instilled it into my kids from when they were in my belly, basically. I mean, I was like making sure I was eating the best foods and things like that. When my kids were born, as soon as they started eating solids, like it was just, I was very, very in tune in what I was fueling my kids with. I even waited 2 years for my daughter to have any kind of refined sugars. Like I was pretty obsessive about it. And I know not everyone thinks about it to that extent, but just to be completely candid and honest, like that's kind of how I started with my kids from very, very, very beginning. So they don't know any difference. I mean, yes, I do give them indulgences and treats and things like that. They're not completely sheltered from any of that. I mean, they go to kids' parties all the time and have cake and candy and things like that. But the biggest thing is that I really discuss with them healthy foods versus treats. And having treats are good and fine and dandy, and they taste yummy and they're so good. But at the same time, like, you really want to fuel your body with as much healthy food as possible. So that's always been my number one thing of how I've instilled it from the very beginning.
That's awesome. I love that. So it's that approach of just really just talking to them, even at an early age. I mean, you have those are pretty little kids that you've got, but you're still talking to them and just kind of educating them on moderation, kind of.
Yes, exactly. Moderation, the quality of food, like what they're eating and things like that. So, and when they understand like the difference, and it's not, they get it. Like, they're like, okay, can I have this treat today? Like, sure. Like, okay, we'll have a treat today. You can have a treat today, like that one treat and things like that. But let's first feed our body with healthy food. That's what our body really needs more. And explaining that, like what our body really needs versus like, okay, the fun stuff and like the candies and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. So, and what has your experience been? I know sometimes I'll talk to parents, and this has happened to me before too, where I know that once I get my kids outside and doing something active and fun, whoops, I think I lost you there for a second. I can still hear you though, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Sorry.
It's like a power outage. I don't know. No, that's okay. I know that once I get my kids outside doing something active and something fun, they love it. It's the hard part is sometimes getting them to do that, which is kind of true for adults sometimes too. It's hard for us to motivate to go exercise. So do you have any tips or strategies for just getting kids
Sorry,
moving and getting kids active?
Yes. Sorry, I'm taking you guys with me. I had to open the door for the family. Okay. Yes, tips on getting moving and exercise. So, as I mentioned, that my background's in fitness, and funny thing is, my husband's also in fitness too. So we're pretty active family. As you can hear, my kids are home now.
Yeah.
That I hear every day. But so we're a very active family. My kids are super active. Oh, cool. Want to say hello?
Hi, guys.
Say hi. So my kids, we're a really active family. My kids are super active. So literally taking them outside to the park like 2 times a day at least. Because when they're out and active and free to run and to spend that energy that they have naturally as kids, they're just happier. They're happier kids. We are happier that they're not all over us like the entire time, like cooped up in the house. And so I really get them outside to move around as much as possible. I really do try my best in limiting like screen time and really setting timers on that so they're not like glued to that, because that's really draining on their energy, and it's also like super addictive to do that. And so really setting timers and strong boundaries on that, and making activity fun. So we started getting the kids and starting like organized sports, starting soccer, like tennis, little different things like that, and see how they gravitate to it, how they like it. When we go to a park and open grass areas, we'll do family races. We'll kick the ball around. We'll play just, a silly game of whatever. We'll just kind of make things up and just make it fun and make it kind of a family affair.
That's awesome. I actually remember seeing a video that you had posted on your Instagram, I think, of you chasing after them and catching them or something. It looked like you guys are having a great time. But that actually, I think that brings up a great point too, what you said about when kids are getting that energy out of themselves and they're burning all that stuff off with their activity, they're just happier people in general. And especially right now with everybody kind of shut down and hunkered down and stuff, that's got to be critically important for them.
Exactly. So yeah, since we can't go to the other things that we're used to, whether it's even going to like those indoor playgrounds or going to things like that, or as often birthday parties and stuff like that, so all of that is really limited right now. So it's like you have to find other ways of being active, going on hikes, we would go for walks around the neighborhood a lot, going for bike rides, doing that as a family, and that makes it fun. Just something just to get outdoors, and you just have to kind of get creative and almost on a kid level. So like chasing the kids, like kids love to be chased, like making a game out of it, so they love that. And then it gets everyone moving, family, moms and dads are moving, kids are moving. So it becomes like a whole, everyone's getting healthy together and just moving their body together. And I talk to my kids about exercise. They see me working since the gyms are closed, so I've been working out in our garage. So I'll work out in the garage, and we have a little open space in front of our garage, kind of like a little mini cul-de-sac, and the kids will ride their bike around. So I'm getting my workout in, they're playing, and they're watching me work out, and they understand like, okay, mommy's working out, and they were like, hey mom, I want to work out with you. Okay. So then I'll give them a few little exercises. My daughter will start writing on a whiteboard, like, okay, I'm going to do 10 jumping jacks. I'm going to do 5 burpees. And so she knows like some of the lingo and the words. And so it's kind of like, as a parent, if like you're doing it and being that role model for your kids are literally like, it's just almost like you don't have to pull teeth to do it. They just they'll emulate what you're doing. They look up to us. So they're going to want to do those things. And so it's cute to see my kids like want to get involved in our workouts. It's fun. That's super. I love that it's really about leading by example. Yeah. And this could be a great motivation for parents to get out there and exercise. I mean, if you're not motivated to do it for yourself, do it for your kids, and exactly.
They'll follow you. So that's awesome. I love that.
So true.
I love that she knows burpees too. That's crazy.
I know these kids can nail a burpee down really well. I was impressed. Like I think I don't
I
even
bet.
remember teaching them that, but yeah, they can do burpees really well.
They just pick it up from watching mom and dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, dad doesn't really do burpees, but I don't
Oh,
really
okay.
do them
Well,
that much. Yeah. They see mom do
yeah,
it.
as I say, I hate burpees. They're terrible.
They are.
They're great for you. I just, ugh.
I
Um,
agree.
so, so what about, we were talking before we kind of went live here. We were talking about the whole homeschooling thing and how parents have been thrown into this world where we have to be a teacher also. And I know in schools it's really important that the kids are moving throughout the day. Again, they've just got so much more energy than we do. Do you have any tips for parents that are kind of homeschooling their kids now and how to just incorporate some movement into the day?
Yes, I have. You just reminded me of a great game I played with them during homeschooling, during spring. So for PE at home, I play them up with this game and have this cup. And inside, I made was perfectly here in the perfect time for me to share this. So I did a bunch of strips of paper and I wrote different exercises on each of them. So they each took a turn. They made it even more fun. Like they took a wallet and they were doing, tossing in the air who would go first. Whoever goes first, they would pick a piece of paper and then read it. And it says jump up and down 5 times. And then they would do it. They'd move it again, and next person goes, and they read the next exercise. Okay, run in place. So they'd like this thing was full of different exercises, and the kids loved it. It was a good 30 minutes of them exercising and doing all these different things. So that was a really
That's
fun
awesome.
PE exercise that was good for them. They got all their wiggles out. They were exhausted. I mean, we have stairs, so I had them running 10 stairs and doing like bear crawls to the room, push-ups, whatever, like standing on one leg and singing the alphabet, standing on the other leg, singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, like whatever, like things like that, and getting
Yeah,
creative. And the kids had a ball. So just having
that's
fun,
awesome.
different exercises for PE for
Yeah,
homeschooling.
right. PE for homeschool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love that. Now, and the other thing before we run out of time, I wanted to ask you about is how important is it, because we're talking about lifelong habits here. How important is it to really get your kids started down this road now? Is it, I would love to think that, my kids at my age are going to be working out and exercising and in great health and just very active. Is that important to get them started early like this?
Oh gosh, absolutely. The earlier the better. I mean, if you didn't start super early, just start now. Like whenever you can start, just start, because kids are very, especially, I mean, when they're really young, we all know that they're like sponges, right? So they absorb so much when they're young. So if you can start them as young as possible, but wherever age that they're at, just get them started. And because it's a little harder as they're getting older and they get stuck in their ways, like we all get stuck in our ways as we get older, right? So just like make it a family affair. That's why like involving parents and kids to do it together. Don't just like point at your kid and like, okay, you need to start doing that when you don't do it yourself. Right. So that's why
Yeah,
if you can make it a family affair and you all get involved together, and then it's like an accountability thing. You guys, okay, mom, you can do this. Like if mom's slacking, like, the son can pick up mom and like, come on, mom, let's do this. Or dad's slacking, or the kid, you can all just kind of pull and work together. And it just brings like a more close-knit environment between you guys as a family to do it together. So wherever age you are, you can totally start. And then, but I just feel like as like the kids are older, to make it more of a family unit. I mean, yes, we
yeah,
really make it a family unit as like from the very beginning, but I'm just saying like at any age you can definitely start,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just we're making it like a together family unit that you guys can all do it together.
That's great. So it's another benefit too. It's kind of a bonding thing for the family. It's something fun that the whole family does together, and I
Yeah,
love it. That's
exactly.
awesome. That's
Awesome.
great. if you had, we're almost out of time, but it's not like we're out of time. I just try to keep it to 15 minutes.
Yes.
But if you had one tip that you think could help somebody out there that says, my kid's really kind of turning into a couch potato, and I don't want that to happen. I really want them to be healthy, either nutritionally or active or physical. What's one main tip that you think could really have a big impact?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Hard to give one, but when it comes to food, I would say getting creative on things that like your kids, whatever your kid's favorite is. Say it's mac and cheese, that's usually a favorite, or pizza.
Yeah.
Trying to make a healthier version of it, or adding veggies to the mac and cheese, adding cut up spinach to the mac and cheese. Adding veggies to your pizza, or cutting like down on the cheese, and maybe switching your crust to a cauliflower crust, trying that, just trying little switches and changes. Because I know it's hard to switch a palate of a kid who has are set in their ways with what they like, or they could be very picky eaters. So trying little additions to the foods that they like, and just kind of working that way, and just kind of being patient. I know it takes a lot of patience with kids, and like getting them acclimated to something when they've never tried anything like that before. So just being patient and giving them time to get used to it. Don't just give up the one time, the second time, the third time. Like, just keep trying, keep doing it. I mean, even as adults, like, it takes some time to get acquired to a taste, and eventually you might like it. So it's just, and you're thinking about changing this habit for your child, so it's going to take some time. That would be my tip for food, and for actually would go hand in hand with the physical activity too. Start by just like taking, a 15-minute walk around the neighborhood with your child, and, as a parent, putting your phone away, and, if it's, and just like spending that quality time and being able to chat with your kids, and then working your way up to 20 minutes. Okay, mom, let's set up a family challenge. Let's see if we can do this, I don't know, run around our neighborhood in like 10 minutes. I don't know, something like that, to like make it a challenge. And I think I think with older kids, they kind of like that, like having like that challenge, like, oh yeah, you can't beat mom. Like, I'll do that. I can do that, make it like a friendly competition amongst the family. I think that will kind of turn things around, where it's not like, okay, we got to go exercise. Let's go exercise, Right. Instead of take that word out and make it kind of like a fun challenge for the
That's
family.
A fun thing, yeah. That's awesome. And those are amazing tips, Liz. Thank you so much for that.
Of course.
And I love it. And if people want to learn more about you and maybe follow you on Instagram, can you tell us your Instagram handle or where they can find you?
Sure. It is Lizzie, Lizzie Hall, HALL 25. I can post on the page, right?
Oh yeah. We can post
it. So
it.
I can post it too, just in case. I'm pretty sure.
Great. Yeah, I think it would be great because, I love your Instagram stuff. You're always doing workouts and things like that. And some of your TikToks, you're a great dancer too, so that's good.
Thanks. That's my side.
And you're very brave. I don't do anything. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks again, Liz. It was super fun having you here. I really appreciate you doing that.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Stick around for a second. We'll stop going live, but we'll be there. Okay. Bye-bye.